Hi, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of the New Day with Natalie podcast. In this episode, we are going to be talking about how to know if your avoidant ex is thinking about you, even if they haven't reached out to you yet, okay? I work with so many of you guys one-on-one, and that is one of the main questions I get asked. How do I know they haven't moved on? How do I know they aren't thinking about me? Because I think about them all the time, right? I remember when I was going through a breakup and I could not get over my avoidant ex. The only thing I wanted in this world was for him to text me. I just wanted to see him again. I just wanted to have a conversation with him again. I wanted to prove to him that I was a different person, right? And I literally thought about him all the time. And it was months after the breakup and he was like the main thing on my mind. And I'm like, how is this happening? Is he thinking about me too? Okay. And I learned that he was thinking about me because I did end up meeting up with him in real life and we talked about it. These are a couple of clues that I noticed that he was doing to me that allowed me to understand that yes, he was thinking about me, and it could also help you understand if your ex is also thinking about you. First things first, silence does not mean that your ex has moved on, okay? Silence is painful because you can interpret silence in many different ways. On some days, silence can mean they've let go, they've moved on, they never loved me, they're dating someone else, they're hooking up with someone else, they were cheating on me. You name it, right? It's basically just your inner fears speaking out. It's a lot easier to point the finger and blame someone instead of turning inward and realizing what your own insecurities are and what your own fears are. On other days, silence can feel like, oh, you know what? I'm in control of this. I put the silence in place. I don't need this person to be happy, to function, to be myself, to be confident. Screw you. I am doing this to you. So I hope you enjoy it, right? So sometimes silence can feel like you are doing it. And a lot of times with the anxious attachment and avoidant attachment, feeling like you are in control is the best experience ever, okay? And so when you don't have control, you'll do whatever it takes to find control. So when you're going through a breakup and you were blindsided by your avoidant ex, you lost control. So now you're trying to find control by implementing no contact, by implementing the silence to your ex. Does that make sense? I just wanted to make sure you understood the psychological thought process behind silence, because it doesn't mean they've moved on. It's just what you decide silence means. Breakups often trigger self-protection, not emotional detachment. You're going through a breakup, you're trying to protect yourself. You're trying to show off I'm confident, I'm happy, I'm amazing, life is still good without you, right? You are trying to take control over the situation. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are emotionally detached from this person, because you're still crying when it hits 9 p.m. at night and you're all alone and it's dark outside and you're crying and you're looking at old photos of your ex, or you are looking at old text messages and you're still emotionally attached to them, right? So silence and breakups do not necessarily mean you are emotionally detached from your ex, and vice versa, right? Your avoidant ex might be not talking to you. They might appear to be living this happy, beautiful life that's super fulfilling, and maybe more fulfilling than when you were in their life. But let me tell you, maybe they can emotionally detach during certain parts of the day. They can compartmentalize, okay, when I'm at work, I just literally do not think about you. When I'm at the gym, I just do not think about you. But when I'm at home and it's nighttime and I'm all alone and I feel lonely, I think about you. And the emotional attachment to you is still there. Now, avoidantly attached people are pros at basically suppressing all emotions and turning emotions off completely. But the thing is, emotions still can rise to the surface, right? And you'll see that in the pattern of the anxious avoidant trap, right? The avoidant in the beginning was so into you and so attached to you and so excited to date you, and then they pulled back, right? What makes you think that pattern won't happen again, especially if they've dated people and done the same cycle in the past? So just because you're in a breakup and they've emotionally detached doesn't mean the emotional attachment will start to kick in again. Does that make sense? Avoidantly attached people, their breakup process is a lot different than the anxious. Avoidance, when they go through the breakup, initially, they are happy, they feel alive, they want nothing to do with you right after the breakup. You, on the other hand, are sad, you are shocked, and you just want to see them again. You just want to talk to them one more time, right? So over time, you'll let go of them, you'll feel okay, and then over time, your avoidant ex will start to feel, wait, you're gone. Wait, this is real. Wait, I want you back. So that's why a lot of times, like the minute you let go of your ex, they come back. It's because the breaking up process is a lot different for both attachment styles. So for avoidantly attached people, silence is actually a coping strategy, okay? So when they don't talk to you, when they have space in between you, they can finally feel like they are not suffocated by you, they can feel like they have distance. They can feel like they have control over their life and their schedule and their time once again, okay? It doesn't mean that they don't have this emotional attachment to you. Now, again, they can turn it off and turn it back on whenever, right? They're very good at suppressing all emotions though. Silence is a coping strategy because that in itself creates distance. When you're not talking all the time, when you don't see each other all the time, that gives the avoidantly attached person the distance that they desperately needed, right? And so sometimes when you're dating, you'll notice your avoidant partner give you the silent treatment. You're like, we haven't talked for 4 days. What's going on? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. They are coping. They're coping with this uncomfortable feeling of being too close to you, of being too vulnerable with you, of losing control in the relationship. And so when they're silent and they create the distance, they start to feel like themselves again. Silence in itself is actually a good sign because your avoidant ex is getting exactly what they need in order to come back to you. When two people are in no contact, usually most people feel very uncomfortable breaking no contact because they don't want to reach out to the other person and then get rejected by you, and vice versa, okay? Both attachment styles don't enjoy rejection. Frankly, I don't think anyone enjoys rejection. It's also kind of awkward to break no contact, to break the silence, right? If it's like, well, I haven't talked to you for a month or 2 or a year. What's new with you? Do you still hate me? Like, are you going to reject me? So it's uncomfortable. Also, if you're trying to reach out and regain a friendship with your ex, you might come across as trying to push for a romantic relationship. So it could give a wrong impression to your ex and then kind of ruin the relationship. So there's a lot of reasons why both people don't want to break no contact. That's why there's a lot of silence in the breakup stage because both people don't know what to do. And it's such a delicate situation. Here's the thing. When there is silence, when your avoidant ex hasn't reached out to you, it doesn't mean they're not thinking about you. No contact isn't always mutual, but sometimes it's a mutual fear, okay? And that fear could be being rejected by both people. Now let's talk about some subtle signs that your ex is still thinking about you. Number 1, they watch all of your stories and they put a like on your story or they respond to your story. This is a subtle clue if there was a period in time where they did not watch your story at all. And now all of a sudden they're watching it all the time. The reason why this means they're thinking about you is because they're literally keeping tabs open on your life and they're watching your life in private silently, right? They want to know what your updates are. Now, the reason this means they're thinking about you is because they are watching your story. They're clicking the button to watch your story. They're thinking about you because they're watching a picture of you living your life, of you being happy, and they're thinking about you. And they're doing it multiple times. Some of you guys report back, your ex is the first person that watches your story every time you post. This happened to me personally too, and that's how I know. Avoidantly attached people can find that lurking and just watching your story from a distance behind their phone and have a screen protect them is actually safer than interacting with you and reaching out to you, okay? So just because there's silence between you guys, you haven't talked in a while, they still feel this level of closeness to you because they know your updates. They know what you're up to. They know how you feel. They are protecting themselves because they don't have to be vulnerable, right? So it's like you're having a relationship. Not really, but a relationship because they're watching your story. They feel close to you because they know you, but there's no intimacy. There's no vulnerability. The things that actually scare the avoidantly attached person and the things that actually come with a real relationship, okay? A romantic relationship. Also, you'll know your avoidant ex is thinking about you if they bring you up indirectly to all of your mutual friends or mutual network of people that you guys know. If they ask a mutual friend, like a random check-in, like, oh, like, how is so-and-so doing? Like, AKA you. Or if they just say like, oh, I've been thinking about this person, like, how are they doing? They are asking about you because they're thinking about you, period. Like, you know that, all right? And so they might not tell your mutual friend, like, I really miss XYZ, or like, I really fucked up that relationship with that person. How are they doing? That's not what they're saying, because that's too vulnerable. It's too risky. But what they are saying is, hey, listen, how is this person doing? And I think we can connect the dots and realize that means they're thinking about you, okay? Another way to know that your ex is thinking about you is if they leave digital breadcrumbs for you. What does that mean? If they are liking old posts from your Instagram, or if they are liking or saving posts from your TikTok from like months or years ago, or if they are viewing your TikTok profile or watching your TikTok story seconds after you post it, or your Snapchat story, if they watch it seconds after you post it, they are leaving you a little breadcrumb. They're making you question, wow, they're watching my story, they're active on these old posts, like, why are they stalking me? It's because they're leaving those digital breadcrumbs. They're wanting you to pick up the breadcrumbs and be like, where did this come from? Did I drop bread somewhere? Or if they have a burner account and there's these subtle interactions that you see from this one specific account, and you're like, I swear that's my ex, like, it's gotta be, okay? That is another form of breadcrumbing. So if you feel like you're noticing these like strange patterns and you're just like, am I going crazy? Are they watching me? Like, is this something, does this mean something more? Let me tell you, you're not going crazy. Those signs are strategically placed by your ex so that you know that they are thinking about you and that they are still in the picture. Yes, it is not direct communication, but yes, you can take that action as realizing they are thinking about you, okay? And take that and do whatever you want with it. Okay, another sign that your ex is thinking about you is if you randomly start thinking about your ex. And I know you're probably thinking about them all the time, but if it's like a random thought comes in your head, like a memory, it's like so crystal clear. Maybe, just maybe, your ex is also thinking about you at the same time. Whenever you think about someone or you have a dream about someone, I believe that the other person is also thinking about you, right? Like, have you ever been thinking about someone and you get a text from them like instantly and you're like, holy shit, like I was just thinking about you. Like, what are the odds, right? That is the same thing with your ex. So if you're thinking about them all the time, they probably are too. I know this from my experience. Like, when I finally stopped thinking about my ex, he stopped watching my stories. He stopped like texting me. We stopped talking to each other. It's because I stopped thinking about him and vice versa. But for the years that I was thinking about him, we were so like still in communication, okay? And it drove me absolutely crazy. The last hint that your avoidant ex is still thinking about you, even though you guys are in no contact in the silence era, is they suddenly just go completely silent on social media, or they just completely disappear in your mutual social circles, okay? So if they are not active at all on Instagram and they used to be super active, it could be because it's too painful to post on Instagram because they're going through shit that they don't want to deal with, and they're thinking about you and they're regretting the breakup and all the things. Also, if they go silent on social media, it could be because they've blocked you or they've muted you. And if they did either of those things to your account, that means they cared about you enough, they thought about you all the time, and they needed it to stop. So there is another piece of evidence that they were or still are thinking about you and they're trying to protect themselves. When avoidantly attached people are all by themselves and they distance themselves from you and they're silent and there's no communication between you guys, they don't know your life updates. That gives the avoidantly attached person the space they need to process, to analyze, to feel what they need to feel, and realize what they need to realize. Oh, I messed up. Oh, I actually want to date you. Oh, I think we're actually a good fit. I just needed some space. I'm glad I got it. Thank you so much. Let's get back together, right? It probably won't happen exactly like that. They do need the space that they might have requested when you guys were dating. And if they finally get that post-breakup, then they'll have that realization moment faster. Also, avoidantly attached people, when they process, they are not expressing their analyzations and their conclusions that they drew. Unlike you might be throwing to your Instagram story like, oh my God, I'm like so happy, or like, oh, I messed up on this thing, and like throwing a song in the back of like a quote that basically explains like you messed up and you want this person back. Your avoidant ex isn't going to do that. They're not going to express or share publicly their transformational journey. It's not going to happen like that. So when there is silence, when you guys are not talking, that actually means they're probably processing things, okay? So just let them have their space. And I know a lot of you guys that I work with with one-on-one have anxious attachment, and you're just like, well, they haven't reached out to me, so they probably just forgot about me. They're probably dating someone else. They're probably hooking up with someone. A lot of times when you think of the worst, it just means, again, it's an insecurity that you have within yourself and you don't know how to emotionally regulate yourself. It's easy to point the finger and just blame other people. Your deepest fear is being rejected or not being accepted by your ex. And so you're almost like bringing that to life because it is such like a deep-rooted fear that it is now your reality. So instead of overanalyzing like your entire past relationship, or if they watch your story and like, what does it mean and all these things, what I would recommend you doing instead is use the silence that you guys are implementing in your relationship as a mirror and try to see yourself. Like, am I healing? How can I find myself in the silence? And how can I form a healthy relationship in the future, right? Is this person the best fit for me? Okay. So your value isn't proven by whether or not they reach out to you. It's not, because if they don't reach out to you, the relationship that you had with them is still an experience that you hold on to. The lessons you learn are lessons you hold on to. So just because they don't reach out doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It just means it's the next chapter. Keep building that magnetic energy in silence, okay? Because when you are not publicly saying like, this is my entire life, this is how I feel, and just sharing everything with the entire world, you create this level of like mysteriousness about you, right? And that is attractive. When you are happy and you are like in line with your passions and what sets your heart on fire, that is attractive, okay? So you can do that in silence. You can do that behind a curtain. And if they reach out to you when they feel like they are ready to, that's wonderful. If you keep thinking about them and they keep thinking about you, it will probably happen in time, okay? So if you want to share with me your specific story and you want my opinion on if they're going to reach out to you or like a strategy for how to win them back, feel free to sign up for a video call with me down below. I also do email coaching, and I have 2 books linked down below that I wrote. The first one, How to Get Over Your Avoidant Ex and Become Securely Attached. And the second book is How to Win Back Your Avoidant Ex. So choose the book that fits your journey. Okay, I'll leave links for everything down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.